Okay, our next topic is prions and the prion hypothesis. Okay, the prion thing is given in your syllabus, and we have to also deal with the prion hypothesis. That means what is the prions and what is the prion hypothesis you should know. Okay, and as you know, prion is an important topic from the UPSC mains examination point of view because many a time UPSC asks the question on these prions and their hypothesis. Okay, now see. This is your syllabus, and we are here at the prion and the prion hypothesis. Okay, all this we have completed till now. Now we are going to see the prion and the prion hypothesis. Okay, now see, let us take some introductory points first. See, for a year scientists have been fascinated by the peculiar group of the fatal brain diseases. Okay, there are some brain diseases which are not understandable by the human beings, and these are caused by some mysterious chemical compounds. So for a year these scientists were fascinated what kind of disease these are. It is specially related to the brain diseases, and these are the fatal diseases. That is, once you get these diseases, there are larger chances of the death of the patient. Now, these diseases have an unusual property that is years and often the decades after the infection before the disease is detected in the infected individual. Okay, that means it remains the dormant. Once the patient is getting infected by these diseases, this remains for a dormant in the human body or the any other animal body. For often for the decades. Okay, decades तक ये क्या रहते हैं, dormant रहते हैं. You cannot detect that the patient getting this disease. Okay, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि पेशेंट में डिसीज आ गया है, और कुछ ईयर्स तक, डेकेड्स तक वो डॉर्मेंट रहता है, एंड आफ्टर सर्टेन पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इट गेट्स एक्टिवेटेड. द ब्रेन्स ऑफ द इन्फेक्टेड पेशेंट्स डेवलप द न्यूमरस स्मॉल कैविटीज एज द न्यूरॉन डाई. ओके, सी व्हाट इज द सिम्पटम ऑफ दिस डिसीजेस, दैट द न्यूरॉन्स डाइज देयर. ओके, एज यू नो द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द न्यूरॉन आर द केमिकल मैसेंजर ट्रांसफर मशीन्स इन द हायर एनिमल्स, राइट. तो यहाँ पे जो न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं, न्यूरॉन्स आर द केमिकल सिग्नल कंडक्टिंग यहाँ पे सेल्स होते हैं. वो दीज आर द लार्जेस्ट सेल इन द ह्यूमन बॉडी एज वेल. सो द न्यूरॉन्स प्लेज एन इंपॉर्टेंट रोल ऑफ सिग्नल ऑफ द केमिकल सिग्नलिंग राइट फ्रॉम वन पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी टू द अदर पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी. But what happens in these brain diseases, the neuron dies, and due to the neuron die, there is a formation of small cavities in the brain, which gives the spongy-like appearance in the brain. Okay, spongy-like cavities were formed in the brain, and these spongy cavities were क्रिएटेड ड्यू टू द डाइंग ऑफ द न्यूरॉन्स. ओके, न्यूरॉन वहां पे कॉन्स्टेंटली डाई होते हैं, इस वजह से क्या क्रिएट होता है, वहां पे स्पॉन्जी अपीयरेंस आता है, विच इज कॉल्ड एज द ट्रांसमिसिबल स्पॉन्जिफॉर्म एन्सेफेलोपैथीज. ओके, नाउ दिस डिसीजेस इंक्लूड्स द स्क्रैपी इन द शीप. ओके, शीप में जो स्क्रैपी डिसीज है, इट इज रिलेटेड विद दिस ब्रेन डिसीज. देन द मैड काउ डिसीज इन द काउज, इन द कैटल्स, एंड द Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease in the humans. Okay, ये अलग अलग नाम दिए गए हैं डिपेंडिंग अपॉन विच ऑर्गेनिज्म इज गेटिंग इन्फेक्टेड बाय सच डिसीजेस. ओके, सो स्क्रैपी, मैड काउ एंड दिस Creutzfeldt-Jakob डिसीज जो है ह्यूमंस में, ये सब जो डिसीज है वो एक ही केमिकल के वजह से होते हैं. ओके, व्हाट एवर द केमिकल मटेरियल इज देयर, उसका जो इन सब डिसीज का जो सोर्स है वो एक ही है. सो द ब्रेन्स ऑफ द इन्फेक्टेड पेशेंट जो होते हैं, जिनका ब्रेन जो अफेक्ट होता है इससे, तो स्मॉल कैविटीज तैयार होती है ब्रेन में, क्योंकि वहां पे न्यूरॉन डाई हो रहे हैं. आप जानते हो कि हमारा ब्रेन और स्पाइनल कॉर्ड जो है, इट इज कॉम्प्लीटली फिल्ड विद द न्यूरॉन्स. ठीक है, इस न्यूरॉन जब इन न्यूरॉन्स की डेथ होती है तो वहां पे स्मॉल कैविटीज बन जाती है और स्पॉन्जी अपीयरेंस आता है. ठीक है, ये जो स्पॉन्जी अपीयरेंस आने वाला ये जो डिसीज है, विच गिव्स द सिम्टम ऑफ द स्पॉन्जी अपीयरेंस ऑफ द ब्रेन, इट कैन बी फाउंड इन द शीप्स, काउज एंड द ह्यूमंस एज वेल. ठीक है, तो एनिमल वर्ल्ड में अच्छा खासा फैला हुआ है. ऑलराइट, नाउ सी, these are discovered as a prions. Later we have discovered that these chemicals which are causing these brain diseases are nothing but the prions. ठीक है, ये क्या है, ये prions है, which are nothing but the proteinaceous infectious particles. Okay, which are nothing but the misfolded proteins. Okay, that is as you know, the chemically structurally the proteins are of 4 types, right? It is called as the linear structure. Primary proteins are there. Then there is a secondary protein. Then there is a tertiary protein. And then there is a quaternary protein. Okay, all these are the structure. All these classifications depend on the structure of the protein. Okay, so primary proteins are the linear protein. Okay, when the protein has the linear structure, it is called as primary protein. And if it shows some helices, then it is called as secondary protein. And if helices are twisted among themselves, it is called as tertiary protein. And when there is a formation of complex of two or more proteins together, it is called as the quaternary protein. So how is the structure there? Depending upon that, there are 4 types of the protein: primary protein, secondary protein, tertiary protein, and quaternary protein. Now these all 4 types of the protein are having the functions according to their structure. Okay, that means their structure decide their function. Okay, if the protein is primary, it has some unique function. If the protein is secondary, it has some unique function, and same is true for the tertiary structure as well as the quaternary structure. So the function of the protein is decided by their structure. कौन से टाइप का स्ट्रक्चर, उसमें क्वाटरनरी स्ट्रक्चर है तो वो पर्टिकुलर काइंड का एक फंक्शन प्ले करता है, अगर वहां पे सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चर है तो वो डिफरेंट काइंड का फंक्शन वहां पे परफॉर्म करता है. सो द फंक्शन इन द प्रोटीन्स आर प्राइमरली डिसाइडेड by their shape, by their structure. Okay, now see, now what are prions? Prions are nothing but the proteinaceous infectious particle, that is the prions are made up of the proteins only. ठीक है, फर्स्ट थिंग आपको रिमेंबर रखनी, यहाँ पे याद रखनी है, वो ये है कि प्रोटीन, दी प्रायॉन्स आर नथिंग बट दी प्रोटीन. दे आर प्रोटीन, बट व्हाट दे आर मिसफोल्डेड प्रोटीन. ओके, they are misfolded protein. Now what is meant by misfolded? Now as we have discussed that the primary protein is the linear protein, and when it gives the right kind of folding, it is called the secondary protein, and if the secondary protein folds in the right way, it is called tertiary, and so the quaternary, right? But if it misfolded itself, okay, that is, it does not fold itself in a right way, then we call that the protein is misfolded. Now with the ability to transmit their misfolded shape into the normal variant of the same protein. Prions are nothing but the proteinaceous infectious particle, that is, they are made up of the proteins, and they are infectious particle, that is, they can spread the infection from one place to the other place, that is, from the one protein to the other protein. That is why they are rightly described as a proteinaceous infectious particle. This is the disastrous for the any living system, because whatever the normal variants of the same proteins are there, which are functioning in very normal way, when these misfolded shape proteins, that is the prions, comes in contact with that normal protein, they also convert that normal protein into the misfolded shape. This is how this proteinaceous infectious particle spread the infection throughout the body. Okay, so prions are nothing but the proteins, then they are the misfolded proteins, and they can transmit this misfolded shape to the other normal variants of the same protein. Okay, now they can survive the treatments of the heat, ionizing and UV radiations, and the chemical treatment that are normally inactivates the viruses. See how the prions are different from the viruses. If you compare the viruses with the prions, there are many structural and the functional difference between two. Let's revise something about the viruses. Viruses are made up of the nucleic acid plus the proteins. That is, either there is a DNA or there is a RNA plus there is a protein. This is the structural component of the viruses. But what are prions? Prions are nothing but the proteins only. These are only proteins. So structurally they are different. They do not possess any nucleic acid. And see how they are different in other characteristic, as the prions can survive the treatment of heat. That is, there is no impact of the heat on the prions. Then if you provide the ionizing radiation or the UV radiation, that is ultraviolet radiation, to the prions, it does not affect any shape or structure of the prions. Then the chemical treatment, if the chemical treatment is given to the prions, it will also not affect their characteristic features. But all these, that is the heat treatment, ionizing and the UV radiations and the chemical treatment, affects the viruses. So they are completely different from the viruses. Okay, वो viruses से completely different है prions. Prions are only the proteins, while on the other hand the viruses are the DNAs, RNAs and a protein. The prions can survive the heat treatment, the ionizing radiation, the UV radiation and the chemical treatment. All these factors generally inactivates the viruses. Okay, see, the protein is comprising a prion has a molecular weight of ranging from 50,000 to 1 lakh, that is 100 times smaller than the smallest virus. Okay, smallest जो virus known है, the smallest virus we know, उस smallest virus से भी 100 times smaller जो है क्या होते हैं, prions होते हैं. The prions molecular weight is ranging from the 50,000 to 1 lakh, that is, it is 100 times smaller than the smallest viruses. So viruses are clearly different from the prions, and prions are made up of proteins only, and while the viruses are made up of the nucleic acid plus proteins. Nothing is much clear about their mode of replication, multiplication of the prions yet. It is thought that the prions proteins somehow serves as a template to perform the reverse translation, that is, from protein to RNA to DNA, thus turning the central dogma of the molecular biology. See, we don't know anything about how these prions get multiplied. Okay, how they replicate themselves, how they create the new copies. We do not know about this mechanism. Exact molecular mechanism of the replication is not known yet. What we can predict that they do the reverse translation. Now, what is meant by the reverse translation? What is the central dogma of the life? The DNA creates the mRNA in the process of transcription, and mRNA creates the protein, right? In the process of translation. This is the central dogma of life. This is the central dogma of biology. From DNA to mRNA is a transcription, and mRNA to protein is a translation. But what prions do? They predicted that these prions do the reverse translation, that is, from protein to mRNA and mRNA to DNA. that is protein to RNA and RNA to DNA. That is completely reversing the central dogma of the molecular biology. It is thought that they are multiplying themselves and they are replicating themselves by using the protein by using the reverse translation process. But we really do not know how the prions multiply, how they increase their number. We don't know the molecular mechanism for that. Nothing is much clear about the multiplication of the prions. Okay, now let us now you know what are the prions, right? Prions क्या है आपको पता है. Now let us consider the prions hypothesis. प्रियंस हाइपोथेसिस को हम डिटेल में अभी यहाँ पे डिस्कस करते हैं. नाउ कंसीडर फर्स्ट द वायरस थ्योरी. ओके, ये जो वायरस थ्योरी है इसको फर्स्ट हम कंसीडर कर रहे हैं. सी द वायरस थ्योरी इन द ईयर 1900 a fatal neurodegenerative disease called as Kuru was reported from the tribe of the Papua New Guinea. Okay, so in the year 1900 a deadly disease which is a neurodegenerative disease, that is the neurons get degenerated in this particular disease and that is why it is called as the neurodegenerative disease. It is called as Kuru. Okay, what is the name of that disease? That disease name is called Kuru, was observed in the tribe of the Papua New Guinea. ठीक है, ये पापुआ न्यू गिनी की जो ट्राइब थी वहां पे कुरू नाम का डिसीज जो है वहां पे उन्होंने एक्वायर कर लिया था और 1900 में वहां पे जो है उसके बारे में एनालिसिस शुरू हो गया था. नाउ रिलेटिंग विद दैट द कार्लटन गैल्डुसेक, अ साइंटिस्ट, ओके, इट्स अ कार्लन गैल्डुसेक हु इज द वायरोलॉजिस्ट एट द यूएस नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ हेल्थ, डिस्कवर्ड द बेसिस ऑफ द डिसीज एंड मोड ऑफ इट्स ट्रांसमिशन. See, very important name in the history of the prions, that is Carlton Gajdusek. Who is Gajdusek? Gajdusek was the virologist at the US National Institute of Health. He discovered the basis of the disease. Okay, the important contribution which is contributed by the Gajdusek, that he has discovered what is the basis of the disease and how this disease is transmitting from one person to the another person. See what he discovered there. See, he observed that a particular ritual in the tribal people of eating the brain of their dead relatives was the main mode of transmission of this disease. See, in the Papua New Guinea, whatever the tribe is there, that tribe has the very peculiar ritual there. This ritual is about eating the brains of their dead relatives. That means whenever their relatives get dead, they eat their brains of their relatives. Okay, they take out the brain from the dead body and these brains are eaten by the healthy individuals. Now, what the Gajdusek observed, that this ritual is primarily responsible for the transmission of this disease. Whatever the disease is shown by this tribe is showing this disease because they are eating the brains of their dead relatives. This was observed by the Gajdusek. Now, the frequency of the Kuru, that is Kuru, the name of the disease, the frequency of the Kuru gradually declines since they stopped practicing this ritual. That literally means this ritual is responsible for transmitting that disease. Because as they stop practicing this ritual, this Kuru disease gradually starts to decline. This shows that this eating the brain thing, that is the ritual, is primarily responsible for transmitting the disease from the dead relative to the healthy individual. So we can say that historically the prions, when causing the neurodegenerative disease in the tribe of the Papua New Guinea, this disease is degenerating the neurons of the brains. Okay, that means this infectious proteinaceous particle which is called the prions are present in the brain part. Okay, and now this brain part in this ritual is eaten by the healthy individuals of the relatives, and that is why these are transferring from the dead person to the healthy person as well. ठीक है, इस प्रकार से वो ट्रांसमिट होता था फ्रॉम एक जगह से दूसरी जगह, फ्रॉम द इन्फेक्टेड इंडिविजुअल टू द हेल्दी इंडिविजुअल. एंड एज दे हैव स्टॉप्ड द प्रैक्टिसिंग ऑफ दिस रिचुअल, द Kuru disease gradually declines. Okay, which confirms the claims made by the Gajdusek. Right now, this infectious particle described by the Gajdusek and others as a conventionally slow virus. देखिए यहाँ पे मिस्टेक था. ठीक है, Gajdusek do the mistake here that he called as the particle as a unconventionally slow virus. He considered that infectious particle as a virus, not the protein. Okay, what he called it as he called it as a unconventionally slow virus, because whatever the viruses are studied, then they are fast multiplying viruses, right? There are fast multiplying viruses, but these infectious particles are not multiplying in a speedy way, but these are unconventionally slow in multiplication, and that is why Gajdusek called this particle as a unconventionally slow virus. Okay, and for this the Gajdusek was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1976 in the medicine and the physiology for this basic work, along with the Buruj Blugmark. Okay, so he get the Nobel Prize in 1976 for his work on these Kuru disease. Okay, but what he called the infectious particle as he called the infectious particle as a unconventionally slow virus. Now see, But the second scientist, called as the Stanley Prusiner. Okay, what is the name of second scientist? Is called as the Stanley Prusiner, and he's an American biochemist. Was not convinced about the idea of the infectious agent, which described by the Gajducic as unconventional slow virus. Okay, so there is a second scientist which is called as the Stanley Prusiner. This Stanley Prusiner, who was the biochemist, was the American biochemist, was of the contrary views of the Gajducic. He opposed the views of the Gajducic regarding his claim as an unconventionally slow virus of the infectious agent. So whatever the infectious agent is there for the Kuru disease, as described by the Gajducic as unconventional slow virus, this was opposed. This was opposed by the Stanley Prusiner. Stanley Prusiner, who is the American biochemist, strongly disagreed on the Gajducic claim that the infectious agent is unconventionally slow virus. Now, what a Prusiner know about the infectious agent, which made him to claim that the Gajducic is wrong in this thing? See, Prusiner was against this so-called virus theory because of the three reasons. Okay, so whatever is given by the Gajducic is collectively called as the virus theory because he called it as the unconventional slow virus. But the Prusiner is against this virus theory because of the three reasons. He has given the three reasons, and depending upon these three reasons, he called Gajducic as a कि वहां पे उन्होंने गलती कर दी है by calling it as a unconventionally slow virus because it is not the virus. वो तीन पॉइंट कौन से थे? What are these three reasons which is put forward by the Stanley Prusiner to oppose the Gajducic? First point, the infective agent is extremely resistant to the UV and ionizing radiation, whereas the viruses are sensitive. ओके ये हमने डिस्कस किया है. देखिए प्रूजनर ने बिल्कुल सही पॉइंट आउट किया वहां पे कि उन्होंने कहा कि जो भी इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट वहां पे है विच इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द कुरू डिसीज, इसको यूवी रेडिएशन से और आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन से कुछ भी नहीं होता है. लेकिन वायरसेस जो होते हैं वो सेंसिटिव होते हैं टू द यूवी रेडिएशन एंड द आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन. इसलिए आज तक हम यूवी रेडिएशन का और आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं इन ट्रीटिंग द वायरसेस. तो अगर इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट जो है अगर वो बिल्कुल रेजिस्टेंट है यूवी रेडिएशन और आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन के लिए, तो फिर आप उसको वायरस कैसे कह सकते हो? क्योंकि वायरसेस हैज दिस प्रॉपर्टी दैट दे आर सेंसिटिव टू द यूवी एंड आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन. तो यहाँ पे एक कॉन्ट्रास्ट क्रिएट होता है. अगर ये इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट वायरस है, चाहे वो स्लो वायरस क्यों ना हो, तो वो यूवी रेडिएशन को और आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन के लिए वो सेंसिटिव होना चाहिए था. बट इट इज नॉट सेंसिटिव टू द यूवी रेडिएशन और द आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन. दैट लिटरली मीन कि ये वायरस नहीं हो सकता, ये प्रूजनर ने कहा. दिस इज द फर्स्ट रीजन व्हाई ही इज नॉट बिलीविंग इन द Gajducic क्लेम्स. नाउ सी द सेकंड रीजन, द इन्फेक्टिविटी ऑफ द स्क्रैपी एजेंट इज नॉट अल्टर्ड बाय द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ द न्यूक्लियसेस. ठीक है, न्यूक्लियसेस देखिए ये क्लास है एंजाइम्स का जिसमें डीएनएस भी आते हैं और आरएनएस भी आते हैं. ठीक है, दैट मीन्स द इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट डज नॉट कैरी द डीएनए और आरएनए एज द जेनेटिक मटेरियल व्हिच इज एब्सोल्युटली रिक्वायर्ड टू बी द वायरस पार्टिकल. देखिए जब उन्होंने उस इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट को जो स्क्रैपी डिसीज कॉज करता था गोट में, ये जो इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट था जो क्रू डिसीज भी कॉज कर रहा है, ये स्क्रैपी डिसीज भी कॉज कर रहा है, मैड काउ डिसीज भी कॉज कर रहा है, जब ये इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट को निकाला गया और इस इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट को ट्रीटमेंट दिया गया बाय दी एंजाइम्स कॉल्ड एज डीएनएज. ठीक है, अगर डीएनएज एंजाइम का ट्रीटमेंट दिया जाए तो वो कट करता है डीएनए को. ओके, उसके बाद आरएनएस का अगर ये दिया जाए ट्रीटमेंट तो वो आरएनएस को एक्सट्रैक्ट करता है या फिर उसको कट करने का काम करता है. ठीक है, तो एक्सट्रैक्शन करने के लिए और कट करने के लिए डीएनएस होते हैं, आरएनएस होते हैं. लेकिन जब प्रूजनर ने देखा कि जब इस इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट को ट्रीटमेंट दिया जाता है डीएनएस का या फिर आरएनएस का, तो उसको वहां पे जो है उसके स्ट्रक्चरल अल्टरेशन कुछ भी नहीं होते हैं. इसका मतलब डीएनएस और आरएनएस उसके ऊपर एक्ट नहीं कर सकते. दैट लिटरली मींस दिस एजेंट डज नॉट कैरी एनी जेनेटिक मटेरियल. ना वहां पे डीएनए है और ना ही वहां पे आरएनए है. इससे यह प्रूफ हो गया कि डीएनए भी वहां पे नहीं है, आरएनए भी वहां पे नहीं है. लेकिन अगर हम वायरसेस की बात करते हैं तो वायरसेस में डीएनए या फिर आरएनए होना जरूरी है. इट इज एब्सोल्युटली रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द वायरस. वायरस के लिए या तो वहां पे डीएनए होना चाहिए या फिर वहां पे आरएनए होना चाहिए, उसके साथ साथ वहां पे प्रोटीन होना चाहिए, तभी जाके हम क्या कह सकते हैं कि वो वायरस है. और अगर डीएनएस और आरएनएस का उस एजेंट पे कुछ भी फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है तो इसका मतलब वहां पे जेनेटिक मटेरियल इज एब्सेंट. वहां पे जेनेटिक मटेरियल एब्सेंट है. इन सच अ केस अगर वहां पे जेनेटिक मटेरियल एब्सेंट है देन हम नहीं कह सकते कि वो वायरस है. सो दिस इज द सेकंड रीजन व्हाई द प्रूजनर अपोज द व्यूज ऑफ द Gajducic. नाउ सी द थर्ड रीजन. थर्ड रीजन क्या दिया उन्होंने? नाउ absence of any agent specific antibody, strong tendency to aggregate and hydrophobicity go against the nature of true viruses. ओके, देखिए यहां पे जो है जब ये डिसीज कॉज होता है, चाहे वो स्क्रैपी डिसीज हो, मैड काउ डिसीज हो या फिर कुरू डिसीज हो, इसमें एंटीबॉडी का अब्सेंस होता है. बॉडी में, मतलब कोई एंटीबॉडी वहां पे तैयार नहीं होती है। उसके बाद ये जो पार्टिकल है एग्रीगेट होते हैं, एक साथ आते हैं। उसके बाद ये जो पार्टिकल्स है इसमें हाइड्रोफोबिसिटी देखी जाती है। लेकिन ये सारे पॉइंट्स जो है ये ट्रू वायरस के नहीं है। ट्रू वायरस कैसे होते हैं? उसमें एंटीबॉडीज तैयार होती है, वहां पे स्ट्रॉन्ग टेंडेंसी या फिर टेंडेंसी टू गेट एग्रीगेट वहां पे नहीं मिलता है, और हाइड्रोफोबिसिटी भी वहां पे नहीं मिलता है। तो ये भी सारे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक जो है वो ट्रू वायरस के नहीं है। तो इसीलिए प्रूजनर ने कहा बाय गिविंग दिस 1 2 3 रीजंस, इन तीनों रीजन से उन्होंने कहा कि व्हाट एवर द गैस डुसेक इज टेलिंग दैट these are the unconventional slow virus, this is not the true thing, ये सही बात नहीं है। वो किसी भी तरीके से वायरस नहीं है, और किसी भी तरीके से वायरस नहीं है इसके प्रूफ के तौर पे उन्होंने वो जो 3 रीजंस है वो पुट फॉरवर्ड किए जो साइंटिफिकली बिल्कुल एक्यूरेट थे। यहाँ पे प्रूजनर जो थे इन्होंने इंपॉर्टेंट कंट्रीब्यूशन किया बाय गिविंग दिस 3 एविडेंसेस। ओके, नाउ बैक बाय दीज एविडेंसेस प्रूजनर्स एंड हिज कॉलीग इन 1982 extracted the infectious material from the hamster's brain and they give the first blow to the virus theory. Now see how उन्होंने सबसे पहली बार 1982 में हैमस्टर से ब्रेन से उस इन्फेक्शियस पार्टिकल को एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लिया, और एक्सट्रैक्ट करने के बाद उन्होंने उसको स्टडी किया एंड प्रूजनर सजेस्टेड दैट द इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट causing certain degenerative disorders of the CNS, that is the central nervous system, because central nervous system also contains the lots of neurons there, और न्यूरॉन वहां पे डिजनरेट होते हैं इस डिसीजेस में, और सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम में जो न्यूरॉन होते हैं उनका डिजनरेशन होता है इन डिसऑर्डर्स में। तो वहां पे प्रूजनर ने सजेस्ट किया इन कि मोर रेयरली ह्यूमंस में ये कॉज होता है और एनिमल्स में ज्यादा देखा जाता है, इज अ proteinaceous infectious particle. See what Prusner did, he extracted this infectious material from the brains of the hamster, and he said that the infectious agent which is responsible for causing the degenerative disorders of the CNS in animals and more rarely in the humans is a proteinaceous infectious particle and not the unconventional slow virus. वो कोई unconventional slow virus नहीं है, उन्होंने उसको नाम दिया प्रोटीनेशियस इन्फेक्शियस पार्टिकल, जो किससे बना था? जो प्रोटीन से बना था। जैसे हमने इंट्रोडक्शन में पहले देख लिया था कि प्रायॉन्स जो होते हैं वो प्रोटीन से बने होते हैं। सो इट वाज प्रूजनर हु एक्चुअली डिस्कवर्ड द प्रियॉन्स। प्रूजनर एंड हिज कॉलीग उन्होंने हैमस्टर की ब्रेन से इस इन्फेक्शियस मटेरियल को बाहर निकाला, और उन्होंने उसे कहा कि ये एक स्मॉल प्रोटीनेशियस इन्फेक्शियस पार्टिकल है विच इज कॉल्ड एज द प्रियॉन, and the proteins believed to be the responsible for the infection called as the prion related protein. Okay, it is called PRP, that is prion related protein. So the whatever the protein which is believed to be the responsible for the infection, उसको बोला गया, उसको नाम दिया गया prion related protein. Okay, so PRP is responsible for the disease cause, and what is the agent of this disease? It is called the prion, which is the small proteinaceous infectious particle which was discovered by the Prusiner after the Gaj-Dusek. After the Gaj-Dusek called it as a unconventional slow virus. The unconventional slow virus को उन्होंने कहा, इसलिए उसको उनको वायरस थ्योरी बोला जाता है। जो कुछ गैज-डुसेक ने दिया उसको वायरस थ्योरी बोला जाता है। लेकिन प्रूजनर ने एक्यूरेटली वहां पे 3 पॉइंट जो है, 3 रीजंस जो है उन्होंने पुट फॉरवर्ड किए, एंड ही क्लेम दैट व्हाटएवर द अनकन्वेंशनल वायरस थ्योरी वाज गिवन बाय द गैज-डुसेक इज नॉट राइट, and actually the whatever the causative agent is there, it is the small proteinaceous infectious particle which is called as the prion, and whatever the protein which is believed to be the responsible for the infection, he called it as a prion related protein. Soon he found that structurally there were the 2 isoforms of the PRP. जल्दी उन्होंने स्ट्रक्चर उसका डिटरमाइन किया, and he came to know that the PRP had the 2 structural variants. वहां पे 2 structural variants होते हैं PRP में, that is protein related prion related protein जो थे, that is PRP. It has the 2 structural variants. See, the first one is the normal cellular prion related protein. It is called as the PRPC. C stands for the cellular. Okay, that is prion related protein which is cellular. See, the first one is called as the normal. It is the normal protein, normal cellular prion related protein, and it is in short it is called as PRPC. That is prion related protein cellular. Okay, which is the non-pathological form. This PRPC is the non-pathological form. That means this protein does not cause the disease. ये non-pathological है, ठीक है? This is important. It is the non-pathological form, and this is not responsible for causing the diseases. Okay? The PRPC may act as a acetylcholine receptor inducer. Okay, what is the function of PRPC then? Then it can be used as a acetylcholine receptor inducer. So what is acetylcholine receptor inducer? We will discuss this in the cell biology and in the molecular biology, how this inducer plays its role in the conversion of proteins. Okay. Now see, PRPC may act as a acetylcholine receptor inducer. आपको यहाँ पे याद रखना है कि PRPC, although it is not the main disease causing protein, but it is responsible for the acetylcholine receptor inducer. Okay, and it plays an important role in the transmission of the nerve signal. Whatever the nerve signals are transmitted, for that nerve signal transmission, this PRPC is responsible. So structurally, what the Prusiner find out that the PRP, that is prion related protein, has a two variant. One of them is a PRPC, that is prion related protein cellular, which is the non-pathological form of the protein, which does not cause any disease, but it is responsible for the acetylcholine receptor inducer, and it also helps in the transmission of the nerve signals. Now see the second form, that is PRP has the two forms. The very first form is the PRPC, and the second form, let's talk about the second form, is the infective form. That is, it is pathological form. It is responsible for the transmission of the disease, called as prion related protein scurvy, that is PRPSC. That is called protein, prion related protein, and SC, here SC stands for the scurvy. This scurvy disease is caused in the ships. Okay, ships में disease cause होता है due to the prions, which is now used to refer the all infectious form of the protein causing scurvy like disease in the animals and the humans. Now this, ये जो scurvy एक बार नाम दे दिया गया, फिर उसको यही नाम रखा गया, बाद में उसको फिर चेंज नहीं किया from organism to organism. Although scurvy is only disease which is found in the गोट्स. ओके, शिप्स में जो शिप्स जो होती है, शिप्स में डिसीज पाया जाता है, काउज में, कैटल्स में उसको मैड काउ बोला जाता है, ह्यूमंस में कुछ और नाम बोला जाता है, लेकिन वहां पे पहले स्क्रैबी यूज किया गया, इसलिए अब इन्फेक्शियस जो भी प्रोटीन पार्टिकल वहां पे इन्फेक्शियस है उसे PRPSC ही कहते हैं. ठीक है. सो देयर आर टू वेरिएंट्स ऑफ द प्रोटीन रिलेटेड प्रायन रिलेटेड प्रोटीन्स. फर्स्ट इज द PRPC, that is the prion related protein cellular, which is non-pathological form. This one is the non-pathological form, right? But the second form, that is PRPSC, that is prion related protein scurvy, it is the pathological form. ये कैसा है? Pathological form, and this protein is responsible for the causing of diseases. Okay. Now it is this form which in which the disordered N-terminal portion appears to fold into the beta sheet. Okay, so N-terminal is there in the protein structure. You must have heard about this N-terminal in the protein structure. This N-terminal is disordered in the particular part of the protein which folds in the beta sheet. Okay, किस sheet में वो fold होता है? Beta sheet में वो fold होता है. That causes problems in the nervous system. So ऐसे बीटा शीट में फोल्ड होने वाला प्रोटीन जिसमें N टर्मिनल वाला पोर्शन जो है डिसऑर्डर्ड हो गया है, इट इज नॉट इन द करेक्ट ऑर्डर, it creates the prion, which is the misfolded protein, and this prion, which is a misfolded protein, is responsible then for creating the problems in the nervous systems. Okay, so PRP structurally can be divided into two parts, PRPC and PRPSC, and PRPSC is the pathological form while the PRPC is the non-pathological form. Okay, so now see, now it is postulated that when the PRPSC is introduced into the body, it induces the conversion of PRPC in the recipient to the PRPSC. Thus the disease is transmitted. See how they multiplied. See when PRPSC, which is the pathological form, ओके, ये कैसा है? पैथोलॉजिकल फॉर्म है. ये पैथोलॉजिकल फॉर्म जब बॉडी में इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया जाता है तो ये क्या करता है? PRPSC जो होता है, विच इज द नॉन पैथोलॉजिकल फॉर्म, इट कन्वर्ट्स दिस PRPC इनटू द PRPSC. That is, it is increasing its number by converting the normal protein into the pathological form, that is the PRPSC. Thus the disease is transmitted. This is how the disease is transmitted. How this conversion is catalyzed, it is unknown. Okay, अगर आप कहीं पे भी देखोगे उसके बारे में कुछ आपको खास जानकारी नहीं मिलेगी. It is unknown how this conversion occurs. That is how the PRPC is getting converted into PRPSC. It is not known because PRPC is the non-pathological form while the PRPSC is the pathological form. So PRPSC is increasing its number by converting the PRPC into the PRPSC. But how this conversion occurs, it is yet not known. Now in 1988, the Prusiner and his team reported that the human prion disease can be inherited. That is, they could be heritable and कम्युनिकेबल. ओके, उन्होंने 1988 में ये भी बता दिया कि जो डिसीज है, प्रायन डिसीज जो है, दे कैन बी इनहेरिटेड फ्रॉम द वन जनरेशन टू द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन. दैट इज दे आर हेरिटेबल and they are also communicable. They can be transmitted from the one person to the another person. So all these are important discoveries later made by the Prusiner. Okay, ये जो सारी discoveries थी later किसने बनाई थी? ये किसने दी थी? ये Prusiner ने दी थी. Now the recognition of the relationship of the PRP to the disease won the Prusner the Nobel Prize in the Physiology and Medicine in 1997. Okay, so 1997 में प्रूजनर को भी इसके लिए नोबेल प्राइज मिला बिकॉज उन्होंने पीआरपी जो था, जो इंपॉर्टेंट जो मैकेनिज्म था कि कैसे पीआरपी जो एक प्रायन रिलेटेड प्रोटीन होता है उसके दो टाइप्स होते हैं, पीआरपीएससी एंड द पीआरपी एस सी एंड द पीआरपीसी। और इस वर्क के लिए जो है प्रूजनर को 1997 में वहां पे क्या दिया गया, ही वाज अवार्डेड द नोबेल प्राइज इन द फिजियोलॉजी एंड मेडिसिन। ओके, एंड हिज डिस्कवरीज ऑफ द न्यू बायोलॉजिकल प्रिंसिपल इन्फेक्शियस गोज बाय द नेम कॉल्ड एज द प्रियन थ्योरी और द प्रायन हाइपोथेसिस। ठीक है, वट एवर इज गिवन बाय द प्रूजनर इज कॉल्ड एज द प्रायन हाइपोथेसिस। All right. So while writing down the prion hypothesis, you should mention the work of the Prusner. Okay, Prusner का वर्क आपको देना है। एंड व्हेन यू आर आस्क्ड बाय द वायरस थ्योरी, ठीक है, अगर आपको वायरस थ्योरी पूछे जाए देन यू शुड मेंशन द वर्क ऑफ द गैज डुसेक। ओके, सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द प्रियॉन्स। ठीक है।